Oh, look here. Welcome back, y'all.
Welcome back to Neela RC, y'all. Thank you for coming back here to the group, to the happy family of Neela RC. I do appreciate every one of you. And as of when this video airs, we will have over 180 subscribers to this little bit of YouTube channel. And I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for coming back here and hanging out with us. This has been a whopper of the last few months. Physically, as of right now, other than one other one, and that's the one that's hanging up on the wall over here, I've only got this and one more vehicle to discuss. And all our vehicles are going to be done, y'all, except for the new crawler rear wheel steering thing that I'm working on. But this week, we are talking about Frog. Yes, that's what my wife called it, Frog. It was after one of our old Army buddies that had served, and he passed away here last year on a motorcycle ride from a motorcycle accident. So she dedicated this one to his name of Frog. That's the reason why you see the green, the hints of blue, and whatnot throughout it all. We're trying to keep it tractor-like as much as we can. This is our 20-pound, now 20-pound puller. It was only a 15-pound puller in the tractor series. Now she went ahead, because of things that had changed with the rules up there, we went ahead and upped it, because there was no one in the 15-pound class that was going to touch this thing. In a 15-pound class, she had this whooped out. 20-pound class, unlimited, she was able to put up a fight, a good, solid fight. And she did real good last year. She put in a very hard effort. We had some bad battery packs that got put in, which is the reasoning for what I'm doing this year. I'm not purchasing any more new vehicles this year. I've got batteries, I've got battery chargers, I've got new wiring, new electronics that I have to purchase, because what's in here used to be in the Rampage. So yeah, that's where we're at with this. So let's go ahead and I'll discuss what we had done with this wonderful beast of a tractor. We literally, I can tell you right now, everything that was not made by hand. Probably within, like electronics, that's the motor, ESC, and servo. Receiver. Those weren't made by my hands or my buddy's hands. The tires were not made by hand, obviously. The metal that this is made from was not made by hand, physically, okay? We took parts and pieces of metal, ideas, bearings, shafts, framing member, brake tubing, aluminum, which is here, and up here, okay? Plastic, 3D printed weight box, made out of plastic. Servos taped to the front of it, which literally holds that whole thing down. And when you see me picking up on this with servo tape, wait till you see what's underneath the hood of this thing. It'll make your mouth drop. I promise you, because when I do that, I'm going to pull that weight out, and I'm going to show you how much weight even after having 2 4S battery packs. Yeah, that's right, 2 4S battery packs. There were 7,200 mAh batteries, 4S 120C batteries. Yeah, we had 2 of them in this, holding this thing down, plus the weight to make the 20-pound weight class. So yeah, I got my scale right here. I am going to roll this back a little bit, because once I pop this top, I do want to keep everything in. That way everybody gets to see just what's going on, because I have a hard time believing it myself sometimes. I really do. And I hate to mislead anyone. Okay? I'm all about truth, fairness, as best I possibly can. Yes, do we do some things that most people don't agree with? But is it still staying within the rules? Yes, everything here is well within the rule book. So, here we go. I am going to pull the top off of this. You ready? I don't know if you're ready. You ready? Let me know in the comments. Are you ready to see this? Because, I mean, I physically don't have to do this. I really don't. I don't have to show you how we did this. 1, because that's our little secret. 2, that would give me, or in the case of my wife, some competition next year for Rock the Ozarks. But I'm going to. You want to know why? Because I want to see people up here with homemade projects that are capable of kicking this thing's rear. You heard that right. I want to see you come up to Rock the Ozarks and do it for us. I want to see you come up there and actually put this thing in its place. Make us have to change something. Because as of yet, we haven't had to. 2 years in a row, Neil RC's come out on top. I don't think that's fair. That's why I go through these videos. Why I give you all these little pointers through each of these vehicles that we've got. All these electronic RCs. And I'm showing you proof of what we've done. No one's commented on any of the videos asking, well, how'd I do this? Or how was that done? Or why did you do this? What is this angle? Why is it? What is that angle? What kind of chain you running? What kind of servo you running? What kind of motors are you running? Are you doing anything to those motors? Are you doing anything to the transmissions? Are you doing anything to the different? I haven't heard a word out of anybody. Oh shoot! Yeah, it is. It is recording. My bad. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to release the Kraken. The Kraken. And you ready? I'm going to pull this off. And mind you, these weights are basically on top of where they're at on top of the batteries. Ta-da! Check that out. I don't know if you can see that as well. So I'm going to bring you down here a little bit closer. Okay? You see all this? And all this? I'm literally going to grab the front of this. That's how tight that servo tape works. Do not underestimate the servo tape. The good servo tape. And when I mean the good servo tape, I'm talking this stuff that you buy on Amazon, y'all. You can buy this on Amazon. And yeah, if you haven't been noticing in the end of the videos, if you ever get down into the description, you'll see a link. That's my Amazon link. If you click on that link, or any of that stuff that's down there in that description, like the ESCs, the cars, the tires, whatever it is that was able to find on Amazon, that is exactly the same thing I'm using here. If you click on them links, I will earn a commission off of that. That turnaround comes back to me so that we can do more here at Neil RC. That's all I'm using it for. That's not to put food in my mouth. That's not to pay my electric bill. That's not to buy anything for the vehicles or anything like that. That is for the hobby here itself, whether it be batteries, battery chargers, receivers, RCs, whatever it is, servos. You wait. Like I said, you wait till you see this one that I've got coming up later on. It probably will be next week. So I'm saving my first Rampage for the very last video. I'm having a real hard time doing a video on that because I really don't want to do a video on that. But anyway, I'm going to, and this is what we're doing. So enough of the rambling, enough of the getting and gotten. I am now going to go ahead and I'm going to show you that's 10 gauge wire. Ran in a Y splitter to run the 2 battery packs off the same ESC. This is a Castle. It is the Monster X, or the Mamba X Monster 8S. It is a killer when it comes to power. It is so worth it to have it in this tractor. It did so well. The motor is in this is the 900 kV Hobby Wing motor that sits back here. Okay, let me go ahead and roll that in. That is right there. That's about the size of a small can of tomato paste, or about the size of a can of tomato paste. Gives you any idea. Okay, this is all brake tubing here that comes all the way up and back around, comes down into this framing member here. This is the same frame member here that actually I think this is a little thinner. I think this is actually the steel. Yes, this is actually the steel flat iron that we used in this. And then the aluminum bar here in the front for the steering is the same thing that we used for the framing member of Slaughter. So you got that all lined up. This came off of a tailgate bed. This piece right here, this rounded diamond plated, whatever you want to call it, piece, we cut it down and we made it work for the weight box. Yes, as you can see, I'm still capable of picking that weight box up with all that weight in the front end. So let's go ahead and we're going to do some measurements here as far as how much weight is here on top of the batteries. Enough of the prolonging of it. This first one, okay, that came right off here in the front. In pounds, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weights on that, and it's 2 pounds 10.4 ounces. Okay, 2 pounds 10.4 ounces, and that's sitting on the front of this. Sitting right to the rear of it, on the other side of the batteries, we have the following. Another 5, which is 2 pounds 8.1 ounces, for a grand total of 5 pounds 2.4 ounces that we added to this after we had the batteries put in, because we weren't making weight class. Because when we put the batteries in this with what's weight here in the front, that made the vehicle weight. That was it. Dust, dirt, a mud clod, dirt buggy, whatever you want to call it, a dirt dauber, get in here and make a nest, that added weight and put us over. That's how accurate we had this nailed down. We were that close. Extra dirt in the tires from the way the vehicle was sat on the ground or something, that added weight and put us over. That small amount, y'all. That's how close we came with this build. The bottom plate that you see here is solid plate aluminum, aircraft aluminum, mind you. That's what I was told it was when he cut it and did his thing with it. That was not an easy project to drill out. We drilled 2 holes and cut out a space here for the battery straps to come up and around and hook into. That was a lengthy project on its own. Worked out very well for us, to say the least. So yeah, there's that. And then we have a little bitty 35-gram digital servo, coreless digital servo up here in the front. That is from Amazon. I know I can find them still on Amazon, so if you go down in the description, you will find that exact servo that we used in this down in the description. That is attached to an aluminum horn sitting right up here in the front. It is a regular 25 tooth aluminum horn that is coming out here, this rod right here. That's our steering linkage from the servo. Then we have a tie rod up here in the front. Let me go ahead and move these weights in this scale. There we go. And I'll tip this around so I can show you here on the front. This rod right here is a regular steering rod from an SCX 10.2, 10, or a regular 10.1, I guess you want to call it, just a regular SCX crawler. That's all that is. It's just a crawling link. These tires that you see right here, these are a 10 millimeter hex. They were also made to fit on the TTO2. And seeing how the TTO2 that we had decided it was no longer going to work, we decided that, for what I wanted it for anyway, we decided to take those tires and make them work on this. Give it a little bit extra look to it. Okay? And of course we got our Apex battery straps. They're very large battery straps. They physically go around both batteries and snug that down, and we still have just enough room to put all these weights on it. This year we have a surprise for you all. We're not having 2 batteries up there this year. Nope, we're not going to put 2 batteries up there this year. We're going to be running 1 battery. I have it set up in this ESC that we can run 1 battery, uno uno, and make this tractor do the same thing that it did last year and the year before, and better. I am going to have to physically take an extra set of tires that we have on the back of this thing, which are the Lockup MTs by Duratrax. If you know anything about them, they also are used on the Creightons. They're also used on anything else that has a 17 millimeter hex. If that tells you anything, they're nothing to joke around with. We have that set up a certain way, which is pretty badass, if excuse my French, but yeah, it's set up. Those rear wheels are completely locked. They don't have any kind of differential in them, none of it whatsoever. It is physically a solid, I believe that's an 8 millimeter or a 10 millimeter stainless steel, heat treated, or it might even be just a regular stainless steel rod that goes from one side of the tractor over here all the way over to the other side of the tractor over here, with threads cut and locked down with lock nuts. Real simple. Guys, you got to understand, we built this whole thing on one weekend. We started it on a Saturday. We had it on the track Sunday. That tell you anything? We might have even started this on a Friday night talking about it, because I wanted her to get into the pulling competition on the bigger side. We might have even started coming up with ideas then, but by Saturday and Sunday, come Sunday, we actually had this on the track doing test pulls before Rock the Ozarks that year. That's how close we came. That says a lot. Untested other than there at the house with our own little sled that we had for it. So, hey, apparently something worked. As I said, we had a Hobby Wing motor back here. That's a 900 kV motor. We had the Monster Mamba X 8S. I'll put a link to both of them in the description below, along with my Amazon link. And like I said, I'll say it again, y'all, just so you can hear me. If you click on the link and you purchase any of these items, I will earn a commission. If you decide you don't want to use or purchase any of these items, say you want to buy your own groceries, click on my associates link at the very, very top of the description. Use that and go and buy all the groceries you want. I will earn a smaller commission off from that. I have to have 3 sales off of my associates number that's linked in that description. Otherwise, I don't get to keep going with Amazon. So there you go. We don't have a hobby store here, guys. Everything that I can get, I get off of Amazon, or I end up having to get it off of eBay. And most of the stuff we can get right off of Amazon. So therefore, that's why we go through Amazon. Now, for the rest of the project, as you can see here, we are still running the EC5s. Okay. Now I'm going to flip this over and try and give you a good shot of this. I don't know how well I'm going to do. All right. You can see these bearings right here where my finger's pointing at. Okay. We've got bearings on the inside and outside. Nope, just the inside of that one and the outside of this tire over here. That's what's holding and allowing the wheels to spin. I'll show you. That smooth. Against the motor, it's spinning that smooth. Not bad, huh? I didn't think so. Now, the wings and fenders back here, that's all done out of aluminum. Couple rivets here in the back. Nothing fancy. The cage here in the back comes all the way back down to the main frame. This is our adjustments for height for the tow hitch. We sat it there, haven't even had to touch it. That's all there was to it. It sat and forgot. The design that's behind this is that the screw here takes this piece up and down according to whatever the statue is for that particular pull. Allows it to be adjusted. Now, I'm going to try and do this another way here. I don't know how well I'm going to do, but as you can see here, right here, there's a chain on that. Yes, sir. That is chain driven off of the motor shaft. I don't know. Yeah, you can just barely see it right there. That's a chain sprocket there, and there's a chain sprocket here. I do know that sprocket up front is a 10, and this one back here is a 60 tooth. 10 rounds to make that, or 6, yeah, 10 to 1 or 10 to 6 gear ratio, I guess you want to call it. I really don't know. All I know is it's a 10 tooth up here, 60 tooth back here, and that's how we've got it worked out for this. And that allows us to go forward, back, and brake, all off of that chain. And as you can tell, there's not that much play in it. It is getting stretched. Not saying it won't over time, but you want to know something? Oi! I will show you something. Give me just 1 second here. You see that? You see that right there? Give me just 1 second, guys. I want to be able to show it to you all in one frame because you won't believe it if I didn't show you. So that's what I'm doing. Right there. That's all spare chain for this rig. Inside that spare chain, there are also, it looks like 3 extra clips there for the chain. The links, just to help keep that in line. And yes, when we go to Arkansas, this bag goes with us, just in case that chain decides to fail. We've got a way of putting a new chain on ASAP. Okay, so there you go. Like I said, the Duratrax lockups, MTs, I'll put these tires on the link down below. That'll give you 1, 2, 3, and then the tires being 4 links in the description of the for the model of what you see here. And the rest of it we built, y'all. This is Frog. Frog in its natural form. It is running on a radio link receiver, I do believe. Yep. Sure is. Running on a radio link receiver. A few extra channels on that. That's a 6-channel receiver. Yeah, radio link 6 channel is what we're running on that right now, because we didn't know how we were going to work the steering. So we wanted to make sure we had ways of dealing with that. So that's what we did. We probably over time take that down to, you know, basically a 4-channel if we decided to, without having any issues. We don't need all 6 channels. We're only using 4 of them, I think. So that ain't no big deal there. Now, if you're asking about, well, how'd you make the weights? Well, that is up to Screaming Beagle. He's the one that came up with the design on that. He knew somebody that has the access to basically a lathe or a what do they call that? A printer of some sort. And basically what this is that when you pour the lead in, and this is real lead, by the way, when you pour the lead in, it leaves this out. Okay? Each one of these weights had a weight limit on it at one time or another, and it was written on here. So say we decide to change class and go down to a different class, we could literally go through these weights and add up different weights that we have to bring us to that weight limit, because we already knew what this weighed with the batteries. So yeah, some of the weight measurements, as you can tell, like that one has fallen off, wore off from the vibrations and whatnot. But yeah, this year, boy, I'm telling you, y'all better hang on to your seat belts, because Neil is coming in hot, very hot this year. We're stocking up on our electronics. We're stocking up on our batteries. There's going to be no excuses other than we just didn't cut it this year. I'm telling you that right here and now. The only way Neil RC didn't win this year, this year coming up, is because we didn't bring the game. We left it to home. So this is what I'm telling you. I'm showing you everything we did in this vehicle. I'm showing you everything that we had done, how it's laid out. underneath the hood, for crying out loud. I'm showing you what we did to the motors, the ESCs, everything. There's no reason why you and you and you cannot put one of these together and then turn up for Rock the Ozarks and show Neil RC and Rock the Ozarks what it's all about. That's the video. Like I said, in the description, the very first part of the description, I hate to hound on this, but I have started up. I'm trying this out to see if I can't do something with it, is the Amazon link that I have for Amazon. If you touch on that and you click on that and you open that up, it takes you to Amazon. When you buy anything there on Amazon through that link, okay, that link will then turn around and give me a small commission on your purchase. It's not like you're paying anything more for it than anybody else. Instead of somebody else getting the commission, I get it. Okay? And that money that I do get, those pennies, nickels, and dimes throughout the year are going to, depending on your purchase, obviously, will go back into this hobby. Every bit of it goes back into this hobby. Nothing else. And that's what's going to keep Neil RC going strong. Now, with that being said, all the links that you see for these things in the description below that, you click on that and you buy it from that, I'll get a small commission. If you just save that to your computer or your phone and look it up on your own, I don't see a nickel of it. You hear me? That's why I'm trying not to say things too awful carefully. I'm trying to be upfront and honest that this is what I'm planning on doing with it. If it takes off, it takes off. If it don't, it don't. I haven't had anybody come up with any offers as far as trying to sponsor anything or a channel part or anything yet. So this is the way I'm doing it. I'm trying to do my best. I've got 181 subscribers as of right now. I'm trying to keep them scores coming up, trying to keep that engagement up. That's why I keep putting content out. And I thank you all. The views have been going off the charts. I love it. Amazon or YouTube's loving it. They're seeing that this channel is starting to get attention. They're starting to push it out more. I appreciate each and every one of you for doing just what you have done. If you like the video, share it. If you think somebody else will like this video, share it, please. If you like the video, the way the content's been rolling, hit that thumbs up down here in the bottom. If you want to leave me a comment down below asking specifics about this, I will be more than happy to answer it. All the steel, metal parts and whatnot, we got at our actual Tractor Supply here. So, you know, there's that. The brake line came from one of the automotive shops, automotive places. The lead we got from Walmart through fishing lures. We melted them down into a big old pot and then just started pouring into the molds. That's how we did it. So there you go. And yes, it was done outside over a kerosene stove or burner in a pan, and then it was poured into the mold. Yes, I did a lot of them that year. I think I did it and end up making another 19 of these things just for up there. And I do have some of these left to add to it if we need to. So yeah, as you can tell from the L shape, these were designed to go on Renee's 10-pound puller or 12-pound puller on a piece of angle iron. They're allowed to slide in there. Then she just sets a body clip in there, and that's what sets the weight. She can also adjust the weight from side to side to make it keep to one side more than the other if she finds out that it's pulling to one side. So there you go. There's that. There's everything we know about the vehicle. Everything I've explained to you has been said. The video is now 34 minutes long. I'm going to let you guys go. Let you guys get on with your beautiful day. Thank you again for stopping by Neil RC. Come back and see us either Wednesday or Sunday. You'll see another video. I am trying to do a few shorts here and there throughout the week. Pictures, ideas that I have bouncing off my head. What do you think of the thumbnails? What do you think? What have you been thinking about the thumbnails? Do you think I'm going in the right way with the thumbnails? Is it deceiving? I'm not trying to make it deceiving. I'm trying to make it as true, honest as possible without going overboard, you know. But I'm trying to work on my thumbnails so that it draws people in also there, which thank you for watching and answering those questions, because I do want to hear your comments down below and what you think as far as where the page is going or the YouTube channel. I'm really interested to hear what y'all been thinking. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Please stop back by again next week and catch the next video. This is Neela RC. Go out and have fun.